Hi everyone, I'm Gina, the Artful Addict, and thanks so much for stopping by today. I thought for our project we would make some card faces, and I'm going to focus on Christmas trees. We'll do 3 different ones just to give you a few options, and I thought I would use gouache instead of watercolor. I just thought I would mix it up a little bit, but of course it would work with watercolor. I'm using Strathmore watercolor paper. It's 140 pounds. And as I've said, I've got 3 pieces here, and they measure 4 by 5. You make them whatever size you need for your card. Let's move these, and we'll get started on our first design. If you want to put a sentiment either at the top or the bottom, you may want to take a pencil and make a light mark. Because if you're like me, as you get creating with your paintbrush, sometimes you make little boo-boos, and when you try to fix them, you might have intended for your picture to be this size, and it may end up this size, leaving you no room to add your sentiment. So you might want to use your pencil and just give yourself a little guide to let you know not to go past a certain point, whether it be on the top or the bottom. I'm going to take a kneaded eraser and lightly roll over it so I can see it. I wouldn't want the paint I'm using to have a problem covering up my pencil. All right, our first design is so simple. I'm going to be using just a variety of greens, from this very yellowish green to something a little more muted to something a little more dark, maybe even something very bright. I think I will start with the very lightest color. I want to leave a little space up at the top in case I want to add a little bauble or star. Okay, I'm going to leave a little space. And sometimes it helps me to turn it upside down just to make sure the sides are somewhat even. Now this does not have to be perfect by any means. We are just playing it. Actually, the more kind of wonky it is, I think the better it looks. So here we go, and let's do one more. Here's my line. So this bottom one will be just a little stubbier, like this. Okay. It's touching here, it's not over there. If it bothers you and you want to be precise and leave the exact same distance between, then absolutely go ahead. But for me, I don't really care. It looks adorable no matter what, so why put that pressure on myself? That's how I feel. Okay, so we have our first layer down, and let's come in with another color and just add that sporadically in here. Okay. I'm going to come in with even a little darker color. Okay. And look, it's messy. This would probably be a great project to do with your kids even, because yeah, perfection is not anything we're worried about. And sometimes those make great projects to do with children, because no matter how it turns out, it's going to look really cute. Now we'll come back after it dries and we'll go over and add some detail with a pen or marker. So this part is just getting the color down. Just something that resembles a Christmas tree. And that's just basically, you know, a big triangle. So as long as it somewhat makes that shape, you're good. So I'm going to leave that as it stands right there. Wash out my brush. And I think I will put just a little brown just down below. There. Okay. So I'm going to move this one and set it to the side to dry. For our second card, I am using a size 8 round. I don't know the brand. This is just a very cheap brand I probably picked up at Walmart. So I'm going to just get in and grab some of that green again. Again, we'll probably use a mix of colors. My process will be a little different. So we'll start here and we'll just kind of plop our brush down to make different layers for our Christmas tree. So simple. I'm not even worried about really anything. And these are the best kind of projects during the season. When we're super busy and our lives are stressful, why stress over our Christmas cards? Even though we want to do something personal, it doesn't have to be really stressful. I'm just plopping my brush down, right? Now, if we want to leave a nice solid bottom, flip your paintbrush around and go at it from that angle. See, when you flip it upside down, it helps to show you if you're straight or not, and I am certainly not. So, ooh, here we go. And go over it like this. Okay. It gets a little harder with this big brush the higher I get. So you may want to switch to a smaller size if you worry that it's just too hard to control. Isn't that pretty? Well, I will set that to the side to dry as well. Card number 3. Let's start out again with the very lightest yellowy green. I'll just go this way and this. Okay. And just color that all the way up. Alrighty, just like that. Next, I'll take a bright green and I'll start making just lines like this. Okay, here we go. Really simple, not anything fancy. You can turn your brush around and go up, or you can go down. I'm going to take another brush, one with a finer point on its tip. And this brush actually came with Woody's, the Woody 3-in-1. And I absolutely love it. It's damp, but it's not completely dry. So I'm going to come in now with the very darkest color. And I'm going to do the same thing. Just draw some lines. Now these I'm going to start to fan out a little bit on the edges. I don't have a whole lot of water on my brush or in the paint, so I'm able to get a nice dark color. You can put some heavier ones here and there. You can come out just a little bit on the sides and down at the bottom. And there's number 3. I'll set that aside to dry as well. Tree number 1 is dry and it is ready for us to draw on. Now I am using Bianyo. It's B-I-A-N-Y-O. It's a microline pen and this is the 05 nib. And I'm just going to start by just loosely outlining what I've got so far. Okay. Now, as you can see, I'm not sticking right to where I've painted. I'm just going around. Sometimes there's a little green on the outside of the line. Sometimes there's white, and that's okay. I'm going around and just drawing. There we go, and I'll even do my little trunk. So here's what I have. You can see that there's paint in between my lines. Sometimes there's white space. That's okay. Just gonna keep on going. I think I will just add some type of garland. 5, and we'll go this way and down here. That's cute. I think I will add some baubles. You can either come back with your paint, your gouache or your watercolor or whatever you're using, but I have some pens and they are glitter pens from Color It. And I just have a wide assortment of colors. I think I want to find something red. And I'm just going to color in some circles and make some baubles. Maybe we can do a little short, fat star on the top of this tree. Again, I'm not trying for perfection. Kind of goes with this type of theme. It's just really loose and fun and whimsical. Now we can add some little gold baubles as well. I'm going to go over all of my baubles with my black ink pen. Kind of leaving a wide berth around these because whenever you run into the glitter pen, it tends to mess up your ink pen. I'm not sure why, but it may be that you want to make your bauble circles first with your ink pen and then come back and fill them in with your glitter pen, which is probably a better idea. Now I could go back in with my glitter pen and fill in the empty spaces, but it kind of goes with the whimsical look of our tree already. I think it's really, really cute just as it is. I'm not sure if this is paint or if it's from my pen, but I am going to try to fix it. It's a bit of a mess, so I'm going to use some clean water on my brush and saturate that a little bit and take a clean paper towel and just blot it. Okay, maybe one more time. That cleaned it up pretty well. I think tree number 1 is finished. Now for tree number 2. It's got really dark areas, so I stepped up and went to an 08, which is the biggest nib I have. Hopefully that will stand out. For this one, I think I will highlight the different layers. I'm pretty much going to follow the pattern that I've left from my paint. So oh, we forgot to add a base to this tree. Using my black pen, I just draw one in. I really like how that looks with the different grades of the green. I had a good long think about this one because it is so dark and I kind of like how it looks just like that. But I will add a little bit of baubles and I'm going to use the glitter platinum and we'll see if that shows up. Oh, that looks really pretty. I guess it's more like lights than baubles, but oh, I love it. That turned out really well. I think I will add a star. I'm going to use this one. This is Glitter Firefly. That's one I might need to outline just so that you can see the edges of it. Let that kind of sit there a minute and dry first. That's our tree number 2. Now for tree number 3. Since this has a lot of dark in it as well, I'm going to do something similar to card number 2, except just in a different pattern. And I'm going to use 24 karat. I'm just going to do garland maybe coming around. Just like this. And we'll give it a little star at the top as well. Maybe it needs to be a little bigger. Again, not perfect. It's simple, and you can always add more to it. It glitters in gold and is very pretty. We're missing a trunk on this one as well. And just draw one in. I do have a brown. Maybe I'll use that to accent the trunk a little bit so that it's not all black. I can do that to this one too. I've changed my mind. I think I'll add a couple of red baubles just in and around in the lighter areas. Look to see if I can go around the star as well. Now, something I've noticed when I tried to go around the glitter pen before that ink was dry, it kind of messed up my black pen. But going over this one now, it worked perfectly, and I do think it's because the yellow glitter pen had enough time to dry. What I'll do is use a black pen and just add a little detail in here as well. That just adds a little bit of something I think it needed. It gives it a little bit more depth inside of the tree. Just also helped to give it a little bit of form. Our card faces are done except for our sentiment. If you have stamps with Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays or whatever sentiment you prefer, you absolutely can stamp these. I would suggest using a stamping platform because watercolor paper this thick is a bit coarse, and you would probably need to stamp multiple times to get a good image. So if you have a stamping platform, then go for it. Otherwise, just be prepared to maybe not have the best inked image. I am going to try to write them just to keep with a whimsical look. And to be honest, I am rubbish at writing, at spacing, so I'm going to use a pencil first. And I will probably have to erase many times, so I'm going to do it very lightly. I won't make you watch all of it, but I will go ahead and give it a try. Okay, well, actually that wasn't too terribly bad. Now I'm going to try to go over them with my pen, and I will use the 08 nib. Okay, that one's a little wonky, but so's the tree, so maybe that goes. I started out with the Merry a little wider, and then the Christmas was a little squishy. But let's just keep going. Okay, I think that one turned out the best. Going forward, what I need to do is take a ruler and draw a line just to help keep my letters straight and on the same level. But these are a bit whimsical cards and they're handmade. So again, I'm not going to put so much pressure on myself and worry that they come out just perfectly because I'm not perfect. So we just won't worry too much about them. And there you go. Here are our 3 tree Christmas card fronts. All you need to do now is just tape them to the front of your card, add whatever sentiment you want on the inside, and you are good to go. You could certainly use these as journaling cards in a journal as well, but that is totally up to you. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this gave you a few ideas of how to make trees for cards or journals. And as always, if you liked it, I would appreciate the thumbs up and let me know which one is your favorite and if you're willing to try and make some of these cards. All right, that's it for this one. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.